Carl Gustav Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychotherapist who founded analytic psychology. The central concept of analytic psychology is individuation, the psychological process of integrating the opposites, including the conscious, with the unconscious, while still maintaining their relative autonomy. Jung considered individuation to be the central process of human development. Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud were colleagues and collaborators on concepts relating to the human evolutionary mind. Part of the mind, they agreed, was conscious, but they also agreed that there was a deeper, more mysterious, unconscious component as well. The unconscious mind was filled with primordial and hereditary impulses indicative of our animal origins. Human beings are thus divided between the two poles, the conscious mind, that is our social self, and the unconscious mind, that is essentially asocial. The struggle between the two poles is the defining aspect of our humanity, and it is through culture, most of all, that humans strive to reconcile the two conflicting hemispheres. Jung's primary disagreement with Freud stemmed from their differing concepts of the unconscious. Jung saw Freud's theory of the unconscious as incomplete and unnecessarily negative. According to Jung, Freud conceived the unconscious solely as a repository of repressed emotions and desires. Jung agreed with Freud's model of the unconscious, what Jung called the personal unconscious, but he also proposed the existence of a second, deeper form of the unconscious underlying the personal one. This was the collective unconscious, where the archetypes themselves resided, represented in mythology by a lake or other body of water, and in some cases, a jug or other container. In Jung's psychological framework, archetypes are innate, universal prototypes for ideas and may be used to interpret observations. A group of memories and interpretations associated with an archetype is a complex. Jung treated the archetypes as psychological organs, analogous to physical ones, in that both are morphological constructs that arose through evolution. At the same time, it has also been observed that evolution can itself be considered an archetypal construct. One way of thinking about archetypes is to imagine that the unconscious mind does not have access to language, either oral or written, but nevertheless wishes to express itself to the conscious mind. Archetypes are primordial pictures the unconscious mind uses to convey meaning to the conscious mind. These are illustrated most directly by dream imagery that Freud called the royal pathway to the unconscious mind. Jung began to note recurring motifs in human culture and speculate that certain archetypal forms were original and primordial. The most powerful of these archetypes is called the shadow, and it is the direct embodiment of the unconscious mind. Because it is primordial and asocial, it is often characterized by threatening, shadowy, dark forms, often bearing animal components such as claws or teeth. From an evolutionary perspective, the shadow archetype is the animal part of human nature, the one we wish to deny and repress.